Hello Morris class, Miss Baig here and welcome to your first history lesson this week. Today is the 11th of January 2021. So we are going to go through our learning objectives for this lesson. Number 1, can I explain the importance of the Apollo 11 mission? Split screen objective number 2. Can I choose and use parts of stories and other sources to show that I know and understand key features of an event? Okay, today we are going to be learning all about an historic event that changed space travel for the entire mankind. That means the entire human race, every single human on the planet. We are learning about the lunar landing. Lunar is basically, or luna is moon in Spanish. Okay, so the lunar landing, first moon landing to ever take place. Okay, so this is the humans, we're talking about humans that have travelled to the moon. The first person to ever travel to the moon. And it took place on July 24th, 1969. 1969. That was more than 50 years ago. Okay, 50 years ago. And this is a picture here of the astronaut. I'm not going to tell you yet, but if you know the name of the astronaut, then say the name of the astronaut. Well done. So this is Neil Armstrong and it's a picture of him on the moon. Okay, now what you are going to do is in the description box down below underneath my face, you have a link that you need to click on. When you click on that link, it will take you to this video that is on the screen now. It's Neil Armstrong's first moon landing, 1969. And it's a video, it's going to show you an image of him, of when he actually comes down the ladder, okay, and his first footstep that he lands on the moon. Now, I want you to have good listening and good looking. Now, as he is coming down the steps, the ladder from his spacecraft, he says something very important. I would like you to, if you don't hear it the first time, because obviously it's a little bit muffled, okay, then make sure you rewind it and watch it a couple of times. I would like you to really pay attention to the first words that come out of Neil Armstrong's mouth, okay? So I'll give you a clue. It starts off with, just so you know what you're listening out for. It begins with, "This is one small step for man." Okay, that's the first part of his sentence, and then he says something else. So this is one small step for man, okay? Once you have watched this video, come back to Miss Baig's video, unpause, and we'll carry on with our history lesson. Off you go, guys. Welcome back. Did you catch the quote? Did you catch Neil Armstrong's famous quote? Okay, let's see what it is. This is Neil Armstrong's famous quote. Okay, it says, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." So mankind is referred to all of the humans on the planet. Okay, that's one small step for man. Now he's referring to his own footstep. So he's made one small step as his foot landed on the moon's surface, but it's one giant leap for mankind. And this is a picture of his footstep, his first foot, the first ever human footstep to land on the moon. How exciting. Okay, now here for your pleasure are a couple of facts for your general knowledge. So the distance, so that means how far something is. The distance between the moon and planet Earth is 384,400 kilometers. Now you must be thinking, that's just a really long number. I don't know what that means. And quite frankly, even I had to sit down and think about that, because even I was thinking, hang on a minute, how much is 1 kilometer? Then I need to multiply it by 384,000 times. So to put it into context for you, Morris class, let me move my face down. So if you were to walk from Green Drive Gate, so where the Green Drive Gate is, all the way up to our Year 2 classrooms, so you walk from Green Drive Gate all the way up to the Year 2 classrooms, and then you walk all the way back. Okay, if you do that every single day, okay, so walking from Green Drive to the Year 2 classroom, and then from Year 2 classroom back to Green Drive, the Green Drive Gate, that is approximately 1 kilometre. In one school year, so if you did that every single day when you came into school, 5 days a week, every single time you were in school, that is approximately 200 kilometres. Now, you would have to walk from Green Drive to Year 2, and then from Year 2 all the way back to Green Drive every single day when you came to school for 2,000 years. To walk the same distance between our lovely planet Earth and the moon. I don't know about you guys, but walking every single day for 2,000 years, oh my goodness me, I would be as fit as a fiddle. Goodness, right. That's just to put it into context for you. 2,000 years! Even 10 years is quite a lot, let alone 2,000. Wow, the moon is very far away from planet Earth. And when you look up in the sky, it doesn't seem that far away. Okay, now this is just to show you a bit of size. The Earth is 4 times bigger than the moon. Okay, so this is a sphere. So it's split into quarters, that means into 4 parts. Let me get my pen out. We're doing a bit of maths in this now. Got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, bit of fractions for you, Morris class, bit of 4. So that's 4 parts. Now, the Earth is 4 times bigger than the moon. So if this is the Earth, the moon is only 1 part of it. So pretend this is the moon, and all of the rest of this is Earth. So the moon is much more smaller than the Earth. Okay, but when you look at it, so imagine when you look into the sky, you can see the moon at night, well, more clear at night time, and when it's a full moon, when it's going through the full moon phase, it's very clear to see, and it is much smaller than the Earth. So imagine how big our planet is. Right, let's go outside and see the moon in the sky. So there are 2 times that I would like you to do this. During the day, where you can't see it as much, but I would really like you, from your bedroom window, not outside, so make sure you're safe, okay? I'm not telling you to go outside, but from your bedroom window or your balcony or your terrace, or if you have a garden, then go into the garden, or you could just stand outside your front door where it's safe, or on your front garden, your drive, so not obviously on the road, just within your property, within your area. Okay, make sure you look up in the sky and just have a look at the moon. Now, what I would like you to do is, so once during the day and then once at night, because at night you will be able to see it much more clearly. So I would like you to imagine how Neil Armstrong would be feeling when he made that first step onto the moon. What would he be thinking? Why do you think he said that quote? Why do you think he said, this is one small step for man? That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Why do you think he said that? What came into his head? Why did he have that thought process? Have a think. Imagine if that was you. So you're the first human to ever travel to the moon. So very similar to when Yuri was the first human to ever enter space and what he must have been thinking. Now, pretend you're Neil Armstrong and you've made that first step onto the moon. Now, no one has ever been there. No, they haven't sent animals to the moon. So scientists had a bit of understanding when Yuri went to space because they had sent animals. There were animal astronauts before human astronauts. So they had a bit of an idea of the atmosphere within space, but no one had ever been sent to the moon. So imagine, he is the test subject. So if he doesn't make it, then he has passed away in service. He has done his country proud. So make sure you have a think, okay? That's a little activity there for you. Okay, now we're going to move into talking about the Apollo 11 mission. So the Apollo 11 is a mission of Neil Armstrong going all the way up into space and going to the moon. Okay, so that's what the mission was called in 1969. So from that mission, it has led scientists to much better understand the moon. So here are a few facts that the scientists have been able to identify and understand about the moon. Okay, so the moon's surface is solid. That means that when Neil Armstrong stood on the moon, now because no one had ever been to the moon, it could have been like quicksand, or it could have been like a cloud. He could have just fallen all the way right through. So no one knew because he was first person. So they found out that it was solid. So if you are on your laptop or whichever device you're using, if there's a table nearby, I'm on a table, just go. Can you hear that knock? That is solid. It's hard. Okay? And on top of the moon, there is dust settled. So if you didn't catch it, if you go back to the Apollo 11 mission video, you will see that when Neil Armstrong is while he is walking, you can see that there is a little bit of dust moving up and down. So the moon has very limited gravity. So there is a misconception that the moon has zero gravity. There is very limited gravity. So you can see the dust particles moving up and then coming back down again. So the moon's surface has dust on it. Now that dust was collected by Neil Armstrong along with moon rock, which is why, and he brought it back down to Earth for scientists to investigate. So the moon is made from rock. Okay, so it's like one big giant rock. The distance, not exactly the same, but the distance between the moon and the Earth is 384,400 kilometers. Now, remember what I talked about 5 minutes ago, not even five, a few minutes ago, about you walking to Green Drive from Green Drive Gate all the way to year 2 and then all the way back in. You would have to walk that distance every single day, well, every single school day, so 5 days a week for 2,000 years. Right. Okay. And the moon is 4.5 or 4.5 billion years old. Guys, I muted there. All you could see were my lips going. Right. I was just about to pass out. 4.5 billion years old? Oh my goodness. Right. That is a big age. So the moon has had 4.5 or 4.5 billion birthdays. Wow! That's amazing. Okay, this is a NASA scientist. He is called Samuel Lawrence. Samuel Lawrence. And this is a quote. Okay, so remember when we have a quote, when someone is talking, then we do the baby 66 to start open and then the baby 99 to close his quote. So guys, remember that from last term in English. So what the Apollo program did was convert the moon from an object of fascination to a place we could explore. So what this quote means is that when people in the past, this is prior to the Apollo 11 mission ever happening, when they used to look in the sky at nighttime, they just used to see this, well, you can't see it's 3D, they just used to see like a 2D shape. Now, if it was in a full moon, then it would be a round circle, or a half, or a quarter, and so on. So they would just see something lit up in the sky, a shape. So that is an object of their imagination. They had to use their imagination. They had to think, what is that? Some people might have thought it was a nightlight. Some people might have thought it was a huge star. Some people might have thought something else. Or some people might have even thought that was, I don't even know, I can't even think, or God or something, for example. So it was just something that people had their own thinking about. There was no right or wrong answer because no one knew. But since the Apollo 11 mission took place and Neil Armstrong did set foot on the moon, since then, scientists have been able to understand that, right, it's not just a figure, a fragment of imagination. It's not just something that we are imagining. The moon is real. It's a sphere shape. It's made out of rock. It's 4.5 billion years old. I mean, that's a lot of birthdays. The moon's quite greedy. Imagine if someone was giving the moon presents every single year. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? 4.5 billion presents every single year. Wow. Okay. Not every single year, but throughout their lifetime, or throughout the moon's lifetime. Okay, so now we know that it's a real place. And since then, there hasn't been any other mission to the moon. But there may be in the near future. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, now so this is a sample of moon rock. These discoveries were only possible by humans going to the moon and collecting sample moon rock for scientific testing. So all of that information that we learned, so if I go back a few slides, so all of this information here, sorry, excuse me, we were only able to figure that out because scientists, they tested the moon rock. This is a sample that Neil Armstrong collected, and the dust as well was collected. They were investigated. The scientists took these into labs and they put them under special circumstances and under special liquids to see if to check the durability. That means how strong they are. So that was the only way it was possible for us to know, because scientists have been working extremely hard trying to figure out what this piece of rock is. If you did not know that was moon rock, you would just think, oh, that's a nice piece of rock. I mean, I can see that it's different colored, looks like maybe igneous rock or something, I'm not sure. Or maybe it's sedimentary because there's different sediments in it. You just wouldn't know. So we need to really be thankful and grateful to scientists who are working tirelessly every single day making these wonderful discoveries. Okay, now these are questions to think about. So in this lesson, it's not like a challenge 1, challenge 2, or challenge 3 type of situation. What you are going to do is you're just going to have a think about these questions that I'm going to share with you now. So you're just going to think about this. You don't have to write these down, okay? And you don't have to upload them onto Tapestry. It's just something for you to think about. So question number 1, what if no man had ever set foot on the moon? How could we have discovered what we know about the moon now? So how would we know what we know now? How would we have ever figured that out? So have a think about that. While you're thinking about that, I'm going to read the second question. How do you think learning about the moon has helped scientists? How do you think? So yes, the scientists know all these lovely facts about the moon, but how has that helped us as humans on planet Earth? How has that helped us? Have a think, okay? Now, pause the video here, have a think, and then once you unpause, we'll move on to your activity. Okay, welcome back, Morris class. I'm sure I've seen your deep thinking faces there. I saw your those kind of faces. So well done for thinking so hard. Now, your activity, so it's not a challenge 1, challenge 2, challenge 3. Everybody's going to be doing the same activity. Is you are going to be drawing a picture of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon, and you're going to think of a quote that he might have said. So instead of him saying, "That's one small leap, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." So instead of him saying those words, you're going to think of your own quote that he possibly might have said. Now on the screen, I've thought of a few quotes myself. Now remember, it's a quote, so you need to make sure you put the baby 66, and at the end you need to put a baby 99. Well done for remembering, guys, from last term. Very, very impressed. Good job, Morris class. So this is something that it could be something like this. Wow, I cannot believe I made it. Or Neil Armstrong might have said, I cannot wait for other humans to walk on the moon. Or he might have said, life will never be the same again. Now, it's your job to think of your own quote. Please do remember your speech marks, baby 66 and baby 99. Okay, Morris? I'll be checking on Tapestry. So if you're thinking, I don't really know how to draw a picture of Neil Armstrong on the moon, well, look no further, Morris class, because I've got an example on this page right here. So let's move my face down. I'll put myself in this little corner. Here I am. So in front of you, here is a picture of Neil Armstrong on the moon, and he planted, so planted sort of be stuck into the moon, a flag of the United States of America. So this is a flag represents the United States of America. Okay, and you can see all of his footsteps. He was very busy on the moon. So back to our activity. Pause the screen here so you can have a good look at this, or if you have a smartphone or a tablet or something, take a picture of it if you like, or you could even search it on Google by yourself. Just type in Neil Armstrong lunar landing and then loads of pictures will come up for you to look through. Okay, so if you don't want to do this picture, you can choose another one on Google. It's entirely up to you. So let's go back now to your activity. Just to recap, you are going to draw a picture of Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. Okay, make sure you draw the flag because that is very important. And then underneath or on the side or anywhere on the page, you are going to write your quote. Now, I don't want it to be something just like, wow, this is cool, or something like that, because I know you are capable of writing a sentence that is much more magical. Okay, remember, I love a good magical sentence. So once you've completed your drawing along with your quote, please upload it onto Tapestry. You can colour it in or do whatever you like with the drawing. It's entirely up to you. And then I will be checking on Tapestry and I look forward to seeing all of your drawings. So thank you very much for watching, Morris class. I hope you have really enjoyed this lesson. I have really enjoyed teaching you this lesson, and I will see you in our next history lesson. Take care. Bye, Morris class.